There are some things in this world that I understand and some other things which I don't understand at all, and one of those things is, why do some people just love racializing everything every chance they get? Sepupz, you might remember my little police report from a while ago. That is now safely in the hands of Bukit Aman. I don't know if they're actually going to investigate it, but I reported it because I believe that something like that should not be allowed to go on. But recently it looks like there's been another set of police reports for another dude who was also using the C and M thing just casually. Basically, this local Walawun made a Facebook post recently linking Chinese people to being bribe givers while also linking Malay people to being bribe receivers, using that good old bangsa C and M which Darsa Fried Chicken made popular a while ago. And now, maybe following my template, maybe not, it looks like DAP Teluk Intan has filed a good old police report. And now I'm gonna ask the question that I asked at the start of this video. Why do some people just love racializing everything? Yes, there are a couple of these data points about pemberi rasuah, penerima rasuah, broken down by ethnicity. But seriously, first of all, why are you acting like all of that data represents all of the races in the country? And why is it that as somebody in an allegedly high caliber position, you break it down in this way that showcases that you don't understand simple statistics, and by the way, you don't care to have your people understand it? I don't suppose that we need a conversation at this point about whether anyone would actually ever give a bribe if people weren't asking for them in the first place, which is besides the main question that I want to ask here, which is again, why? What is the point? What exactly do you gain from trying to racialize every single thing, making bribery a race problem, urbanization a race problem, education, housing, economy, everything race, 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 race? Like, are you not tired at this point with this whole agama dan bangsa nonsense? Literally, there are so many more interesting possible interpretations of what is actually going on that do not have to exploit or menunggang the fact that there are other races out there. But somehow or another, you have all these politicians out there trying to divide us, put us against one another, create problems so that they can come in as the saviors. Highly recommend that you check out Sam and Syed Akbar Ali's podcast, by the way. They say a lot more about this than I can. And the next thing you know, they are trying to so-called win in a game that they are actually actively sabotaging in a 2026 when nobody of any actual consequence is still thinking from that POV. Seriously, just think about it, right? What other country do you know of in this world keeps on harping about this specific thing, about how everything is race, 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 race? It's like that John Green novel where instead of you have turtles all the way down, it is race all the way down. And I am sick and tired of it. And if you're sick and tired of it too, comment down below. I'm pretty sure I'm not alone right here, so if you feel the same way, let me know, sepupz. I guess one possible explanation is that some of these people are actually mentally ill, and I think that that is actually true for a lot of the racists out there that I see on social media. They are uneducated, they are poor, they cannot improve their lives, and they spend all of their time just complaining about what people of other races or religions do, even when it has nothing to do with them in the first place. And they go for a protest week after week after week because they have nothing better to do with their time. Do people like that actually contribute to the welfare of a race, especially in a world where people are moving forward with technology and actively trying for better lives? I don't know. Maybe it does make sense in a world where you're constantly getting gaslighted by people like this, once again, who are casually declaring that, oh, I'm sorry, there are kadam, who are reporting you to the police because you are explicitly racializing things and insisting on people racializing things to the point that, whoops, sorry, anyone who disagrees with me is a barua. It's nice to be a barua, and allegedly, anybody who doesn't agree that this is racist or at least a useless conversation topic is a pengkhianat bangsa Melayu. You know, the word barua is the word that I see most often, but that frankly I understand the least. It comes up every single time some random person thinks, ooh, there is someone betraying the Malays, not helping the Malays, or anything else, as if all the Malays are like a single homogeneous group. They all like the same things, they hate the same things, and if your opinion is different from the entire groups, then congratulations, you are a barua, a betrayer, a traitor to your own people. Which sounds nice and everything, but clearly these people don't agree. At which point, then all our uneducated friends will come in screaming about how teringat peristiwa buang daripada Sarjan Hassan.
Kinda ironic when you realize who was jealous and who destroyed P. Ramlee's career.
And any number of other stories out there to somehow prove that their way of looking at the world is somehow better. Everybody must walk past, acting like they're so under threat because of other communities in Malaysia. And I'm like, bruh, I cannot brain. But you know, unlike these people who love talking about so-called baruas, I'm always very conscious that we live in a wider country, and I don't let social media make me think that every single person who is Malay in Malaysia has exactly the same opinion. And this random person called Karutu Kantasami said it quite well. There are 17.6 million Malays in Malaysia. Just because a few thousand people choose to be racist or somehow think that they are the most qualified to call people baruas on social media, it doesn't represent the entire community. We study with them, work with them, and interact with them every day in our lives. Because of a small group, we should not speak badly about the whole community. Let's not do the same thing that those few thousand people are doing. Let the dogs bark. Whether we choose to throw stones or walk away is in our hands. Wow. You know, I think that that's so beautiful. But at the same time, when I look at all these people who are just casually racializing every single thing out there, I am slightly concerned because I know that these kinds of people can actually influence one another with their virulent and quite possibly evil form of thinking. Like, frankly, if you are still thinking in racial terms in 2026, I think that you are either mentally ill, you're a politician, or you're just angry at the world because you have failed at life. I mean, that's literally it, right? If not, then you wouldn't be going out there just trying to pit people against one another, or campaigning, by the way, for people who don't even care about you. I mean, seriously, if you look at the history of so-called ethnic politics and people trying to create umbrellas to unite people, it is a history of betrayal. People can yap about it, but when people actually propose that there's a grand unity somehow, then there'll always be a little fly in the ointment, namely like past when they were responding to Zahid Hamidi's brand new umbrella movement. Because they're not in it for their race, they're in it for themselves. But of course, for some people out there who've been living this way, believing the exact same story the entire history of their lives, it is easier to believe in the beautiful lie than to just cast away the shadow because you believed it for so many years, and somehow inside you, you think that if you live some other way, a less stupid way in my opinion, then somehow you end up betraying everyone around you. No, that's not true. But mostly though, I think a lot of this actually comes from fear. People being afraid that they can't live by their value system, insecure, thinking that they need to be protected, when actually, if there were nothing wrong with their value systems, then by right, they wouldn't need to complain about any other race. They can literally just live in peace without trying to create issues and without trying to control every single person out there saying that, oh, it's for your own good, when actually no, it's not for other people's own good. It's because you want to control them. That's what it is. Well, I hope that all these people enjoy their fear-mongering, trying to so-called unite their people on the basis of that fear. But I wonder if they've ever realized that maybe the reason that their people aren't so-called united is because there are people who are smarter than them in the community who understand that this is just purely gaslighting. Like, I'm sure that you can go out there and then guilt trip, appeal to feudalism, and then try to get even more people to join your little coalition of the willing. So you can conclude that your race is the best, you're not under threat, you are completely protected. I'm sure you can have all of your unity, grand coalition type thing right here. But as I see it, all of this mindless racializing is something done by people with inferior mentalities and weak minds. Sure, maybe you can have your so-called solidarity, but if it's just purely based on fear of other people while you celebrate yourself, then I just have to wonder to myself, yourself, can you really build a great civilization from that? Create technology, make yourself proud, succeed on your own terms? Well, my answer to that for now is, well, so long as you're calling every single person out there a barua just because they have a different opinion from you, it's probably not gonna happen in this lifetime. But well, what do you think, sepupz? Have I missed something? Are these people actually geniuses for trying to racialize things to fight the so-called enemies within? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. That's all to say about that, and bye.